whichever part of the world you're watching the show. I am so glad that you are. Thank you so much for your support. My name is Nyashadi Vimtamangiu, Zimbabwe's Queen of Talk. That's what I always say. And I say, if you can't beat me, join me. But my brother-in-law says, if you can't beat them, arrange to have them beaten. So I hope he's not trying to incite people to have me beaten. I hope you're not. It is season 5. And the action continues on Up Close and Personal. You can go to our Facebook page, Up Close and Personal, on ZPC TV, and tell us what you think about season 5. And of course, don't forget to tell me if I'm looking good. Today's show is positive feedback that people are watching the show. The young lady joining me on today's show actually told herself that one day she is going to be a guest on the show because she's been watching the show all the way from season 1. And guess what? Here she is. Isn't it fantastic? Her name is Dorothy Madamba, a young, talented gospel musician. I've listened to her album and I must say it is worth it. You have got to get yourself a copy.
Jehovah vanotora zvakazvidzika zvenyika ndizvo zvavanoda kushamisa vachenjeri Jesu anosimusa marombe kubva muguruva nezvishamiso obva vagadzika pakati pemachinda.
Hi Dorothy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
You look great. Dorothy, when you first told me how old you were, that was like my first wow factor about you. So if you're cool with it, can you tell the people at home how old you are so that they can be as surprised as I was?
I'm a 1985 baby. I'm 30 years old.
Wow. So, how do you do it, girl? Are you on a special diet or maybe exercise? Or even surgery? Because you don't look your age at all, but I love it.
You say I don't look my age, but for me, I actually think I look 30.
I think having a clear understanding of what it is that you studied and then comparing it with music, I started asking myself these questions. These two things are worlds apart. So how do you make them gel? Or maybe it comes naturally?
Well, the natural science that I studied and the art that I do, they have a link when it comes to the natural science helps me to appreciate God and the things that are there out there, and it's inspirational. It's an inspiration into my writing because I write my own songs, and it's also an inspiration into you just get used to beautiful things and you keep looking for that thing which is beautiful even when you do your art and everything else. So that's where the link is. It's very different from, it's quite hectic actually, from being on stage with all the makeup and the pretty clothes and being in the bush looking for a bug in your overalls,
you know,
sweetness and stuff. I think it just makes my life complete.
They say that backgrounds play an integral role in shaping up an individual. So tell me, how was your background like? And is there anything that you blame on your background? You know, to say, I'm like this because of this that happened to me.
I think I love my background because everybody's different background shapes them into a unique individual. For me, I started living in the rural areas with my mom. She was teaching at a school in Wedza there, and up to about 2 years, and then I had to go live with my grandma because of issues they were having and stuff. So I started from a rural background, and then when I started school, I moved with my parents and I was staying in Chitungwiza, the ghetto.
Really, girl? You don't look ghetto at all.
Well, I don't look ghetto now, but I grew up there up to when I finished my O's. Then when we moved to Blawayo, that's when we had this different background. We started living in the eastern suburbs. We never lived in the western. So I've got a little bit of everything. And what that does is that it shaped me into someone who doesn't look at life from one perspective.
And thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Up Close and Personal, and I'm hanging out with Dorothy Madamba, a young, beautiful, talented, vibrant gospel musician, and she has so much to say. I'm sure you can learn a lot from her. Join us right after the break for more. Don't move an inch. Welcome back, viewers. Dorothy, before the break, we got to talk a bit about your music, and I must say, I've listened to your album, and it's really great. I was totally blown away. But it's not me impressing right now, it's the viewers at home that you're supposed to impress. So maybe just, a little something, if you don't mind.
Ba-da-dee-a-doo-ba-da, da-da-da, dooba-dooba-dooba-da-da. Manje, manje, oh, manje, manje. Ooh-ah, ooh-ah, Jesu, I know you manje, manje, hey, hey, yeah. Datisia, regera, ufambe mukururama, Jesu, I know you manje, manje.
Wow, Dorothy, that was amazing. For the first time on this platform, and any other platform for that matter, exclusive right here to Up Close and Personal. That was wonderful, Dorothy. You can go to our Facebook page and tell us what you think about her voice. But moving on, Dorothy, why gospel music?
Well, I express myself through music basically, and I can say I express myself better if I talk about my faith. Instead of singing about a problem I'm having, I could have just sang that, I don't have money,
so
I don't
tough.
have money, please help me. But I'd rather say, Kuna Jesu ezishamiso, looking at the possible solution rather
Wow.
than the actual problem.
Let's talk about your musical journey. What challenges have you faced? What battles have you lost and won?
The musical journey has been long. From discovering in the church that I could sing, the next thing that happened is Zim Praise in 2012. I can say achievement because it's not easy to go through an audition and to actually get in.
Absolutely.
That was amazing for me to actually see I'm at some level of qualification when it comes to singing. And the challenges I had were when you are in a big group and you are not known, you sort of sink into the background. And I was a back vocalist as an alto in the choir. I never got a song, but I learned a lot of things. I'm so grateful to those guys. I didn't know much about being on stage. I was just doing it haphazardly, but the training they put us through, they focused all that energy into something more concrete. I'm not there yet, but I'm somewhere better than where I was before them.
That zest for life, that drive that you have, you keep going, you have new ideas, and you speak so well. I'm just hoping that the person that you're going to choose as your life partner will not kill this, because people just intentionally or unintentionally actually kill people's spirits. So I just hope that you get that right person that will keep you on point.
If people talk about praying for particular things in life, that area of my life is all prayed up. Perhaps that explains the delay. Because something really good and beautiful takes time to make. Yeah. So,
wow.
It's coming.
They say that if you can imagine it, you can actually live it. And from what Dorothy is saying here on the show, I'm sure you can see that you can do whatever it is that you want as long as you believe. Join us right after the break for more. Now we get to the dating and relationships topic. My favorite one.
Not mine.
I know, I just get to ask and I don't answer. Maybe that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, when a man walks up to you, okay, what is the first thing that you are looking at? And what is it that you pay attention to as he speaks to you?
Okay, I'm assuming if somebody has an intention of dating the guy who's, well, the very first thing that I'm looking at is whether we have the same values. As you're talking to someone,
You can see like his values from face.
Okay. All right.
I'm just checking. Maybe you've got these super eyes that bore into the soul.
I think just basic homiletic skills. They take good care of themselves, and
Yeah, that's important.
yeah, because every lady, I think, if somebody walks up to you and they have bathed good and they're looking good, it's easier to entertain them.
So what is your ideal man, and what's your ideal first date? Is it candlelight or some getaway?
Well, ideal first date. Maybe let's start with the man.
The man, yeah.
I think in a perfect world,
Like that start. Like that start.
an ideal man would be somebody who has the same values that I have, like who has integrity, an honest man. I value somebody who just knows how to tell the truth.
Wow.
You can work with someone who tells you, I have no money, but I can try and find some money, than somebody who's all flashy and they really are not organized.
Oh, yeah.
That's being truthful.
Yeah.
You can really work with someone who can tell you, I like this, and they mean it, and I don't like this, and they mean it. You
And
know
they mean
exactly
it.
where they stand.
Exactly.
So that honesty, integrity is number one value for me. Then I'm a Christian, so if you respect the Christian values and also respecting parents, all that
It's very important.
good stuff is very important for me.
Yeah.
The other thing is someone who has an experience of both sides of life would be an added advantage.
Absolutely.
Someone who knows what it is to have lots of things, and someone who also knows what it means to have absolutely nothing. Someone who can
like that.
still be a happy person, whose happiness is not determined by what's
What
going
they have.
on, who can still crack jokes and good sense of humor.
Wow.
Those are hard to find, but I'm still waiting. It explains why I'm still waiting.
It explains. Now I won't even ask you. You're still waiting. Now I understand, because you've got this, all this thing mapped out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't tell me about the ideal first date.
Ideal first date. Let's say I have agreed to go out with this guy. Quite simple. I wouldn't like to go out in a public place or noisy and all that. Just a quiet setting. Probably if we could drive up to a Matopos or Kami or wherever, an outside resort where there's water and plants and stuff, and just look around. We talk about, because I have quite some knowledge about plants and animals, just share that knowledge about butterflies and stuff. I think that's an ideal first date for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mind is a very powerful weapon. It can make you or it can destroy you. Here is why. Have you ever focused on something that really bugged you and made you unhappy? The more you focus on it, the more you dwell on it, you feel absolutely unhappy until you can't see anything good out of the situation that is around you. That's the power of the mind. So the moral of the story, you cannot succeed with a negative mind. So here's your homework. Whatever you do, however you live, make sure that you try to live with a positive mind as much as you can until it becomes your lifestyle, and guaranteed you will succeed. To comment about today's show, you can go to our Facebook page, Up Close and Personal on ZBC TV, or you can go to my Facebook page, that is Nyashadivam Tamingiro, or you can follow me on Twitter at NashDiva. Guess what? You can now go to our YouTube channel and you can watch all our shows all the way from season 1. Now, in the words of Muhammad Ali, the man who has no imagination has no ways. My name is Nyashadivam Tamingiro, and you've been watching Up Close and Personal. Thank you for listening.